At the start of the film, we see a deserted hospital where a nurse is pushing a newborn baby on a trolley, taking it somewhere. The scene then shifts to Amelia's home, where she is with her two children, Alani and Vito. Before going to the hospital, Alani makes breakfast for Amelia, and they have a brief discussion about the name of the baby who is about to be born. After reaching the hospital, Amelia meets her regular doctor, Dr. Iman. The doctor advises her to get admitted a few days before the delivery date. He also tells her that a different doctor will handle the delivery. Amelia asks why not Dr. Iman, and it is revealed that Dr. Iman is moving to another hospital next week. She offers to refer Amelia to a good doctor, but Amelia and Alani don't really like that idea. The doctor then says that if Amelia wants, he can handle the case herself, but for that, Amelia would have to get admitted to the distant hospital where she now works. Everything depends on Amelia's decision. Since the hospital is quite far, Alani asks her mother if she really wants to go there. Alani finds it strange because she and Vito were not allowed to stay overnight at the hospital. Amelia explains that before the operation, the doctor will personally take care of her, and if the kids wait there, it would be very inconvenient. Amelia then goes to the bathroom and asks Alani to take care of the paperwork. Meanwhile, Vito meets a boy named Bara, who is working there as an intern. Bara used to live in the same orphanage as Vito, so he is an old acquaintance. After that, Amelia and the kids leave for the other hospital. Finally, they arrive at the distant maternity home, where two nurses welcome them. One of them is named Layla. Layla takes Amelia to the checkup room. Alani and Vito want to go along, but they are stopped and told to wait. While waiting, both of them fall asleep. When Alani wakes up, it is dark outside, and there is an eerie silence. Vito, who was beside her, is now gone. Alani gets up and starts looking for him. There is no one in their mother's room either. Even after searching every corridor, she can't find him. Suddenly, she notices an operating theater. When she peeks inside, she sees a pregnant woman being prepared, as if for a death sentence. A knife is stabbed into the woman's stomach. Alani wakes up screaming. It was all a dream. After that, Amelia takes both her children to show them her room. But as soon as they step inside, Layla tells them to leave. This really irritates them. Just then, Sister Miranda arrives and says that the rules are absolutely clear. Every patient here needs special care. The mother calms her down and says nothing will happen. For contact purposes, Vito hands his phone to the mother, and then unwillingly, Alani and Vito leave for home. On their way out, they see an old man. He says that Dr. Iman murdered his child. Miranda explains that patients' families often don't understand the situation. If proper care isn't taken of the mother, both the mother and the baby can be at risk. Then Miranda shows them an agreement that Amelia had signed. It stated that if she ever had to choose between her own life and her child's life, she was willing to sacrifice herself. Amelia had agreed to this. Alani is shocked because no one has discussed this with them. Miranda says it was their mother's personal decision. After that, they get into the car to leave, but shortly afterward, they get out and decide to stay in the same town. They take a back road behind the hospital to look for a place to stay. The area is very creepy, with lots of graves behind it. Vito falls a little behind because his shoelace comes undone. Suddenly, he hears a woman crying. He looks into an empty grave, but no one is there. When he suddenly turns around, a soul appears right in front of him. Terrified, Vito falls into the grave pit. Alani is confused and asks, "Hey, what are you doing down there?" Eventually, they find a small food shop. Alani asks the shop owner, Momin, if there is any place to stay around there. Momin tells her the village is very deserted. There are no hotels or villas. Alani doesn't insist. She just says that a place to shelter her and her brother would be enough. She asks if there's no problem, they could stay at Mamun's house. Mamun agrees, as long as they're okay with a very simple place. They then go to Mamun's house. During their conversation, they learn that Mamun's husband was a hunter who was killed in an attack by a wild boar. Alani asks if her husband's grave is behind the hospital. Momin replies, no. The cemetery behind the hospital is only for the hospital's patients, and no one from the village gets deliveries done at that hospital because it's very expensive. People usually rely on a midwife instead. While talking, Alani hears the coughing of an old person. Mamun explains that it's her mother-in-law and that she's a bit mentally unstable. After that, Alani sends photos of the cemetery behind the hospital to Bara and talks to her on the phone. She asks if it's really that common for mothers to die during childbirth. Burrow replies that this has become very rare now because medical technology has advanced a lot. After hanging up the phone, Vito mentions that he accidentally brought his mother's warm clothes with him. So the two of them go back to the hospital to return the clothes. Suddenly, they get scared when Miranda appears right in front of them. Miranda gets furious because they have broken the rules again. They explain that they had only come to return the clothes. Miranda takes the clothes and says she will give them herself and orders them to leave immediately. After that, Alani goes to the restroom while Vito waits in the waiting room. As soon as Alani comes out of the toilet, she hears footsteps and the sound of a trolley being pushed. Panicking, Alani runs into the morgue. Through a window, she notices something strange. As the footsteps come closer, Alani hides inside a coffin. She feels as if there is a dead body lying next to her, but when she turns to look, there is no one there. Meanwhile, Vito finds a wallet under a chair. It belongs to the same old man they had seen earlier in the afternoon. On the other side, two are placing a woman's dead body into a coffin. Alani struggles to control her fear, so they don't realize that she is there. Elsewhere, Vito notices blood stains leading straight toward the operating theater. Peeking inside, Vito sees the same old man they had met earlier that afternoon. That helpless man was being killed, and important organs were being removed from his body. Trembling with fear, Vito runs away. Suddenly, the old man appears in front of him, begging for help. Vito quickly hides in a service room. There, he hears the man scream again, and when he suddenly turns around and sees the old man's soul, he runs for his life. Finally, Alani and Vito find each other. After returning home, Alani messages her mother, but her phone is switched off. She also calls 12, but he doesn't answer either. Barr had actually been busy checking the hospital records since morning. The next morning, Vito tells Alani that the old man they had seen yesterday had died last night, and his soul was following 12. Meanwhile, Alani checks her phone to see if her mother has replied, but there is still no response. They both get extremely worried and immediately head to the hospital. When they arrive, they find that her mother is completely normal. Her mother asks why they look so scared. Alani asks her about the message. The mother explains that her phone battery had died, so she put it in the locker. Alani suggests shifting their mother to another hospital. Vito asks, "Mom, why did you sign that agreement without telling us?" Their mother explains, "It was just for precaution. Don't worry, I'm getting proper treatment. There's no need to change hospitals. You two and the baby on the way are my priority. I'll stay with you till the end. Nothing will happen to me." Hearing this, both siblings get emotional. After that, Alani questions Iman about the agreement. Iman says, "This is a normal process. During surgery, such papers have to be signed. If you want, you can cancel the agreement or even change the hospital. But wherever you go, you'll still have to sign similar forms." Alani asks, "Yesterday we saw an old man whose child was killed by the doctors. That won't happen to us next time, right?" Iman replies, "That patient's condition was far worse than your mother's. I understand your fear, but your mother has trusted me. I want you and your brother to trust me the same way." Alani says she wants that too, but asks what they should do when they see a dead body as soon as they arrive. "Why did that old man die last night?" Iman explains. "That man had a heart condition since childhood. He couldn't bear his child's death. We tried to save him, but it was too late." He adds, "Your fear is normal, but remember, your behavior can affect your mother's mental health." Alani says, "I just want to be sure that my mother is getting proper treatment in this hospital." Meanwhile, 12 goes to the house of an old patient. He asks a man named Shamsul whether Rosmaria is at home. Shamsul tells him that his wife Rosmaria never returned home after giving birth at that hospital. By now, 12 had visited 3 patients' homes, and all 3 had met the same horrifying fate. Bera calls Alani and tells her that he's coming to the village to meet her. He also sends her a list of patients. To confirm what actually happened to the patients on 12's list, Alani and Vito secretly go to the hospital graveyard at midnight. After searching for a long time, Vito finds a grave with the name Rosmaria written on it, meaning the man was telling the truth. As they are leaving, they suddenly hear a woman screaming. When they turn back, they see the souls of the dead patients standing in front of them. One soul comes close to Alani, but instead of attacking her, it cries and asks for help. At the same moment, Alani notices several vehicles heading toward a house, and suddenly the souls disappear into the darkness. They then see a man dressed in black, with his head covered, walking toward a room. Meanwhile, Bear has also reached the village. Alani notices that Sister Leela is carrying a child in her arms and heading toward the same room. Suddenly, Vito finds a black cloth lying on the ground. Alani gets an idea, disguises herself, and sneaks inside. Once inside, they see a terrifying ritual in progress. To avoid getting caught, Alani is forced to pretend and act like the others. Just then, Alani's phone notification goes off. It's a message from 12. Miranda looks at her suspiciously, but the cult leader signals everyone to continue the ritual. After coming outside, Alani begs Bara, saying they must save their mother. It's revealed that the entire hospital is part of the same cult that killed Alani's father, and now they are targeting Amelia's unborn child as well. Even Dr. Iman is involved with them. They go back and discuss what to do next. Bara says the old patient's information has confirmed all of Alani's suspicions. Now they need to find out what the cult plans to do with Amelia. Vito suggests going to the hospital and warning their mother, but Bara refuses. He says that could put both the mother and the baby's lives in danger. Bara insists they should wait until right after the operation. That will be their only chance to attack. During the discussion, Mumin suggests that Alani should go inside because people might start talking if they see Bara. Bara asks if he can stay there for the night. Mumin stays silent. Finally, 12 sleeps in Vito's room. Suddenly, Alani wakes up because of a strange noise. She goes outside to check but finds no one there. When she comes back, she sees an old woman sitting beside her. The woman says her name is Chitra, Mamun's mother-in-law. She tells Alani not to be afraid and says, "I'm not like them. The name you saw was written on Rosemary's grave. I was the one who wrote it." As soon as she finishes speaking, she disappears into thin air. Just then, Mamun knocks on the door and says she's going to the market. Alani grows curious and decides to go look for Chitra. Inside, she finds Chitra tied up, her hands and feet bound, held captive. Shocked, Alani asks why Mamun has kept her like this. Chitra explains that she was once a nurse at that hospital, back before the cult took over. She refused to follow their rules, so they punished her. She goes on to say that the souls of those who were killed in the hospital are trapped between this world and the other world. Free them, she tells Alani. The next morning, all three of them go to the hospital. Amelia tells them that the operation will happen tonight. Iman and Leela send them outside so Amelia can rest. But Iman is terrified. She calls the boss and says the procedure has to be done this morning. The family is watching closely. Realizing the situation, they quickly take Amelia to the operating theater. Meanwhile, Alani, Bara, and Vito have already planned everything. Vito takes 12 to the secret room where human organs are stored. Bara takes photos as evidence, while Alani gets the ambulance ready. The driver is cleaning the vehicle. Seeing the opportunity, Alani hits him with a stone. To save the child, Bara and Vito enter the building with guns. Bara warns them, "Child kidnapping, murder, organ theft. We have proof of everything. You'll do exactly what I say." He orders a man to stitch properly. Then he puts Amelia and the child into the ambulance and tells the others to get in as well. As soon as they leave, Miranda and Iman start chasing them. Alani says, "Publish the video fast," but Vito tells her it won't work. There's no network here. Alani asks for the gun, but Bara says it's useless. There are no bullets in it. While they're escaping, a police officer stops them. He says the road ahead is blocked due to a landslide and it will take time to clear. He advises them to take the patient back to the hospital. Alani pleads, "Sir, please look at our evidence." The police review everything and go straight back to the hospital with them. At the hospital, Miranda tells the police it's all a misunderstanding and that everything they're doing is legal. She claims all the patients signed organ donation agreements. Alani objects, saying they were trying to kidnap the child. But Miranda shows adoption papers with Amelia's signature on them. Then she whispers something in the officer's ear. As a result, Alani, Bara, and Vito are all declared guilty. The scene then shifts to the operating room. First, they brutally kill Bara. Meanwhile, after overhearing conversations between Amelia, Leela, and the driver, Amelia realizes this hospital isn't normal. When she gets the chance, Amelia strangles Leela from behind and kills her. On the other side, after 12, preparations are underway to kill Alani next. Just then, Amelia changes clothes and enters the operating room. She signals Alani to stay calm. As soon as everyone leaves, Amelia frees Alani. Just as Iman was about to knock Alani unconscious, Alani reacts swiftly, snatches the injection hand, and injects Iman instead. But it doesn't end there. Alani ends up killing the crooked doctor, Iman. On the other hand, the child had already been taken to the middle of the ritual. Elani and Amelia disguise themselves and reach the place, where they hold a knife to the ritual leader Sumanto's throat and threaten to kill him. Out of fear, no one dares to step forward, and they manage to rescue the child. They lock everyone inside and escape, but suddenly Miranda shows up. She threatens to kill Vito and demands the child. Pretending to hand the baby over, Alani steps closer and at the right moment throws sand into Miranda's eyes. Amelia immediately grabs her, and a violent fight breaks out between them. Miranda stabs Amelia in the stomach. In the middle of the struggle, Eleni attacks from behind and kills Miranda. After that, Alani takes the injured Amelia and the others to the villagers to ask for help, but the villagers refuse to help. Instead, they inform the cult members about the direction they fled. Alani knocks on Momin's door, but she refuses to open it. With no other option, they start running again. Eventually, they are surrounded from all sides, and the cult members demand that Eleni hand over the child. It is revealed that Amelia's husband had already made a deal with the cult. The child would belong to them as soon as it was born, but Amelia refuses to accept this deal. At that moment, a man named Karta points a gun at them. Just then, Mamoon appears from behind and points her gun at Karta. Mamoon reveals that her husband wasn't killed by a wild animal attack. He was killed while trying to save Chitra, because Chitra knew what dirty acts the devil worshippers were committing and what their secrets were. Momin says she came there after seeing Alani's bravery. Now it's time for the villagers to show courage as well. They will no longer live as slaves. The villagers prepare to fight Karta and his men. Karta tries to tempt them, saying that if they support him, all their land will be returned. But this time, the villagers don't fall for his false promises, and Momin pulls the trigger and kills Karta. After that, Amelia apologizes and asks Alani to take care of her younger siblings, and finally she dies. In the end, we see Alani, who has now taken responsibility for her younger brothers and sisters. On the other side, Vito is playing with his little sister. Suddenly, he sees something strange, and his eyes widen in shock. With this, the story ends here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Also, subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.